Well, a very good evening, Dirtfish Rally friends. End of day 2 here at Rally Italia Sardegna. It was 121 kilometres. It was 6 stages. Yesterday was the most drama-filled day I'd seen in a long time, David. Could today match it? Well, I think it came close to it.
Yeah, I would say so. Absolutely it did. Did it? Maybe not. Maybe the last stage. Last one stage.
Yeah, it was a heck of a day today. It really was. And we're going to try and take you through what happened in our 121 kilometres. Let's talk about, I think, the man who once again has shown the value of experience, the value of knowledge, the value of intelligence when it comes to driving. It's Sébastien Ogier. He leads the way today, David, by 11.1 seconds. His lead is 11.1 over Ott Tänak. There was so much jeopardy out there today, but Ogier kept himself out of trouble.
It's everything that we talked about, Cole, isn't it? You know, this rally counts on so much experience. It's across every aspect of it. It's about how the road's going to evolve, how the tyre strategy is going to work, just driving with the head. Even at times today, we saw some really tricky stages. Who was the one driver that said, I took it a wee bit easy in there? Sébastien Ogier. He did that for a reason. You know, he just knows. He's instinctively, and if it wasn't instinctive, then, you know, it's coming from experience. Yeah. He just knows exactly what to do. He's not the driver that's won the most Sardinias jointly with
Sébastien
Loeb. Yeah. And could actually break that record this time tomorrow. He's not that person for nothing.
Absolutely right. You know, you can't absolutely eliminate risk on a rally like this, but you can mitigate and you can minimise, and he does it better than anyone. There's no question about that. There was a moment this morning, though, when he got caught in the dust. Formos had an awful day, and we'll come to that. He got caught in the dust of Adrien Formos, who had a puncture. Those points, David, show the real brilliance of the top drivers. Well, the ability not to panic, not to push, not to do anything silly.
Well, the reason that Formos had his puncture or whatever, there was some talk of some dust coming into the car. That potentially, we don't know for sure, potentially that took some of the concentration on it. There would have been dust coming into Ogier's car. He just wound it back.
He did.
He just took it steady and he dealt with the dust. And, you know, that, again, it's just every aspect of this is about experience.
That's fantastic. We're looking forward to very much the same battle that we enjoyed in Portugal. It's an Ogier-Tänak battle.
Another near-perfect day?
It's been a good day for sure. How can we call it perfect? I don't know. Yeah, the only those couple of seconds lost behind Adrien maybe still frustrating, but what can you do? That's the way it is. It's even tougher for him. So on my side, I think it's nice to be again in a battle with Ott. Like always, it's intense. The positive is I think we have a bit more response than we had in Portugal. I think we managed to improve a bit the car setup since Portugal, and it seems to work a bit better. And yeah, it was nice to keep a bit of a gap tonight, but it's nothing. I mean, 11 seconds can go very quickly. It can be very quickly gone, especially with the stages we have tomorrow. We know the first one will be rough for sure. The Pro stage is new. I mean, both are new, but the first one I think we all tested this area quite a bit, so we have some reference already. But yeah, it's going to be an intense Sunday, I know that, and that's the one I like.
As I mentioned, David, it is an Ogier-Tänak battle. It is Ott Tänak who sits in second place, 11.1 seconds. We have 78 kilometres tomorrow. Tänak has shown at times incredible speed. He clawed it back this afternoon. It was 15 at one point. 78 Ks, is it enough tomorrow?
Of course it is. And you know, the really interesting thing about tomorrow is, when we were talking, Colin and I, chapter and verse, blah, 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 all about stage 2, the middle stage on Friday, the drivers were all saying, Sunday's quite exciting, particularly, well, both first stage and the power stage. There is a lot going on in there. Power stage completely new. One of them's completely new.
I think it's the power stage.
We've got exactly the same scenario coming up tomorrow. So yeah, anything can happen. Yeah. Tänak needs a big haul of points there, particularly with his teammate with Thierry having issues. He could really do himself some good here.
He could, but at the end of the day, Tänak, if he finishes in second, still finishes ahead of his two
Yeah.
main championship rivals. So it'll be a positive result for Ott Tänak. After what happened in Portugal, might he be a little bit reluctant to push to the limit, to push beyond the limit?
Colin, I sort of talk. That was the bit I was trying to get to. It's been a long day.
I kind of guessed that was maybe where you were going. And when you didn't get there, I thought, have I missed something? Have I missed something?
But that exactly is the point.
Yeah.
As you know, he will go to bed tonight thinking, what do I do? I want the win, but I want those points. And I can't imagine that Tänak is going to risk all tomorrow. It'd be a big decision and a big call to go out there and do that. But equally, it's only 11 seconds.
Yeah, generally all okay. In the morning, one stage we had a slow puncture, but other than that, it's been quite clean. This afternoon as well was all about managing the tires to the best, to avoid punctures, but also limit the wear. So I would say, it was all quite, to manage to the best. But we had a good loop, clean loop, no trouble with the damage or with the wear. So I think we tried to the best. So.
Yeah, it is remarkable, David, the way things are panning out. Portugal, this one here in Sardinia, very, very similar. But what is not similar is the fact that we have a rally where in the past, Hyundai have dominated, haven't they? And certainly aren't dominating. We're not going to put the win beyond Hyundai. That is still very much on. But, David, we have 5 Toyotas in the top 6. In the top 6, there's pressure on Ott Tänak in that regard. Because in third place, would you believe? In third place, it's Kalle Rovanperä, 44.4 seconds behind Tänak, 55.5 seconds. I love that. That's so symmetrical off the lead.
But even more remarkably, who's in fourth?
Fourth is Elfyn Evans. Elfyn Evans has had a fantastic day out there. Yes, he picked up a puncture. I think he's had a fantastic rally day.
But to be fourth, having stopped and changed the puncture.
To be fourth, having opened the road yesterday.
Yeah.
It's incredible. Elfyn Evans has kept himself out of trouble. Yes, he picked up that puncture. He was fortunate. Pyrie, his teammate, picked up a puncture on the same stage. But for me, I've been impressed by the way that Evans has gone about his business here this weekend.
Totally. He's done exactly what he needed to do. We were a little bit critical first thing this morning when he wasn't quicker than Pyrie. Ultimately, Elfyn Evans knows exactly what he's got to do. He's going to take it step by step. He's not going to do anything different to what he's always done. He's going to do all he can do. Continually, that's all he says, isn't it? I'll do my best.
Yeah.
That's what he's doing.
And what he couldn't do in Portugal, because of his poor road position on the Sunday, was push really, push the others in terms of scoring points. And he picked up, I think, 1 Sunday point or something, didn't he, in Portugal? It was really disappointing. He puts himself in a really good road position tomorrow to challenge for good Sunday points. So Evans will look at what's going on around him. He'll look at what's going on with, in particular, Thierry Neuville, but also with Adrien Fourmont, and he'll say, actually, with me being in fourth right now, not too bad at all. And listen, we skipped over Kalle Rovanperä. That's very naughty of us, it really is. Rovanperä sits in third at the end of the day. It's been a funny old day for Rovanperä. He made big strides yesterday afternoon. If he'd continued making big strides today, he might well have found himself in that battle for the lead. But he's kind of consolidated. I don't mind that. I think once you've had a difficult time, sometimes when you make those steps forward, it's important to consolidate, and he's done that today.
He's kind of gone backwards a little bit, hasn't he? Let's be honest, from 22 seconds last night we were talking about, he is going to engage, but I think we've overestimated the fact that he struggles clearly on the first pass, and we saw that this morning. Ultimately, a podium for Kalle is going to be a good result. Going away from here, I think he's just going to take that, and he's kind of in that no man's land now. He's 44 seconds away from Tänak, and he's 4 minutes and something
ahead of Elfyn. You're absolutely right. Elfyn in fourth place, as David said, 4 minutes behind Kalle in third. 27 seconds behind Elfyn is Sami Pyrie. Sami's had an interesting day today. As you say, he was quick this morning, quicker than Elfyn on a stage or two. He had a pretty big off, not a big off, but he had a moment, didn't he, on I think the third stage this morning. And unusual because he's been really tidy in this rally.
Yeah, it was a really strange one, wasn't it? The sort of fast right-hander, and it just slid a bit wide. you know, there's nothing unusual about that. You can guarantee that if we didn't have wall-to-wall coverage and onboard cameras, he wouldn't have even mentioned that at the end of the stage. You know,
You'd have noticed there's a wee bit of damage, but you know, he might not have mentioned
Yeah,
it.
there was, but I mean, there was, you know, we were actually doing our live at the time, and you jumped up. Oh my goodness!
Because he disappeared under the trees.
He disappeared under the trees, and there was a load of stuff came over the bonnet.
Oh.
But then he was back into first.
Papa Ogier, Papa Ogier, bonjour monsieur, ça va? C'était une très bonne journée pour votre fille. Is that correct?
It sounded
Think
good
so.
to me, Cole.
Right.
If we're going to have our evening review interrupted by anybody, I think
Papa Ogier, he's got every right to interrupt it.
Absolutely,
He really
100%.
does.
But so
Badge.
I don't think he would have, you know, it's not a big moment. He's just carrying on. You know, ultimately, the priority for Payari here is experience. You know, he hasn't done too many of these rallies. Like he said, I think it's the first time he's come from one similar rally into another similar rally. Here, then he gets Greece again, of course. It's a great opportunity to learn how to drive these cars on rough rallies.
Let's talk about Adrien Fourmeau. He was right there, 2 and a bit seconds behind Ogier going into the opening stage this morning. I did say I feared for him a little. I didn't expect him to throw it away the way he did, David. He did throw it away.
He did.
It was silly.
It's experience.
Yeah.
Again, we talked about it. It's a puncture. Is the puncture unfortunate? I don't know. I don't know. But just everything after that, it's...
So let's just go through what happened after that. He had a puncture, in the stage where he held up Ogier, second stage this morning. The third stage, he went off on the same corner as Payari, got back on again, and then was as ragged as you like with dust coming into the car, all sorts of issues. He went off for a second time in that stage. He ran parallel to the stage for 500 or 600 metres, bumping over the rocks. A very strange decision that, but that's the decision he made. Then came into service, regrouped in service, went out this afternoon, put his car on the roof.
It's been a difficult day for me, to be fair. The puncture this morning, I checked the video. It was a really small rock in the line, so everybody was going on it. But probably I had maybe a bit more pressure at that time. I was quite unlucky, I would say. Not something we can really see. It was not like a big rock or something. It was just a small step. Then after that, difficult to get the commitment that we needed to get some really clean stages. And then the afternoon, I've just decided to go through. That was my target and avoid every punctures. And in the second stage of the loop, I was really avoiding the rocks. I was just planning to go through. I knew that Effin had a puncture, but in one braking, normally in my pace note was a 3 braking, but I missed it and I broke for the next one. So then it was too late.
There's no doubt you've got the speed to win rallies, but you need to find that consistency. Where, with so little time to test the car between events, where do you find that consistency?
Well, to be fair, in Kenya, the electronic issue, and in Portugal, the suspension broken, it's not really related to me. So where I need to work, it was what happened in Sweden and here.
It's a difficult time for Adrien Fourmeau. He isn't delivering, David, and he's frustrating me a little bit because I know he has the ability. We all know he's got the ability.
It's the same with Tänak. He's got the speed. We know that they've got the speed, but that's no use. You know, you can't just have the speed. You've got to have the consistency. Gone are the days of Colin McRae, you know, winning one rally, crashing for the next 4, winning another one. Manufacturers don't stand for that anymore, you know, and Cyril Abiteboul has already started to apply a little bit of pressure from Safari or wherever it was. That pressure is only going to build, and it's going to be a very difficult scenario for Adrien if he doesn't start to put down some consistent times and consistent finishes.
Listen, the drivers we haven't talked about, the M Sport drivers. Martin Sesk didn't get back today. The team chose not to bring him back. Bit of damage to the roll cage. Nothing really to report with Mackerlain or with Gregoire Munster. Nothing to report there at all. In WRC 2, Emil Lindholm still leads the way from his fellow Finn, Lauri Juna. He is Finnish, isn't he, Lauri Juna?
Of course he is.
And Kaitanovic, that wise, experienced campaigner. Kaitanovic always goes well here, particularly in Sardinia. He's in third. But our championship leader, Johan Rossell, David, came a bit of a cropper today.
He did. Hit a tree. Yeah.
Folks, we did wonder whether Saturday would live up to the drama that we saw on Friday. It certainly did. It certainly did. What can Sunday deliver with those 2 effectively new stages to all our crews? 73 kilometres. Remember, Sunday, a little bit more, 78 kilometres, sorry. Sunday here last year was a ridiculously short Sunday. Tomorrow's a proper one, David. Yeah. I'm very much looking forward to it. Folks, don't forget, Dirtfish is the world's best rally school. You can go there and learn how to control well, the wonderful cars at Dirtfish, but then that translates into your car at home. Have a look, David. Remind me again of the website.
drive.dirtfish.com, and it's not just the best rally school, it's the best school in the world.
Best school in the world, folks.
It's the only school you'd want to go to.
David, tomorrow I'm going to put you on the spot.
Oh.
Tänak or Ogier, or Robin Berra.
No, it's going to be Ogier. He's going to control this one.
I think so as well, folks. Not long now, another 12 hours until the next stage gets underway, the first stage tomorrow morning, folks. We will be there, up nice and early, talking to the drivers before the opening stage. It's been great having you along with us today. We'll see you all again tomorrow for the final day of Rally Italia Sardegna.